for the Foreign Correspondents Club of South Asia. A warm welcome to you, Ambassador Farhod Arziev. This is your second visit to our club. Last year, we had the privilege of hosting you along with some of your ministers. Uzbekistan, Silk Road, Babar, Tashkent. What is common between India and Uzbekistan? This thing. Babar, who built the Mughal Empire, he was born in Uzbekistan. So, they're trying to promote tourism. I'm sure the ambassador is going to talk about it. Next month, they're going to have a multi-party parliamentary election in Uzbekistan. There have been remarkable developments in that country since they have a new president who was elected 3 years ago. He is a great friend of India, like his predecessor. He paid a state visit in 2018. He came again in January this year. So on the 22nd of December, Uzbekistan is going to hold a multi-party parliamentary election. So we are delighted to invite His Excellency the Ambassador to tell us all about the upcoming elections, and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Today, of course, the topic of my briefing is about the elections in Uzbekistan, but at the same time, I will be happy to speak about Uzbek-Indian relations and also maybe to interact with you on the basis of your questions. First of all, it is always a great pleasure for me to meet representatives of mass media, journalists. My background is journalism. I come from journalism myself. And on top of that, I am a graduate of IIMC, Indian Institute of Mass Communications. So these are like, additional elements what we have in common. So you mentioned, our the historical links, the Babur and the Mughal Empire here, the Baburids. But the links between Uzbekistan and India goes well beyond that period. It has we can count our links with thousands of years, not hundreds of years. During the Kushana period, the Kanishka period, we share the common kingdom. So this is how deep the roots are. Before beginning my, the short report, discussion, presentation, I would like to ask my colleagues, we would like just show you a very short film about Uzbekistan for those, to have a better understanding what Uzbekistan is about. So parliamentary elections is to the legislative chamber of Uzbekistan, which is the lower house of our parliament. 5 political parties which are registered in Uzbekistan have been allowed to participate in the elections, and they will be competing for 150 seats in the legislative chamber, lower house, and the elections will be observed by more than 500 international observers, including observers from India. We are expecting quite a sizable delegation from India, and we are also expecting Chief Election Commissioner also to be part of this delegation. And besides international observers, of course, we will be having, more than 1,000 international and local mass media representatives who will be accredited by the Central Election Commission, and also who will be covering the entire the process of the process related to the elections, including the voting process. Some 20 million people will participate in the elections, including 2 million youth who will be voting for the first time. Just for your information, the total population of Uzbekistan is about 33.5 million people, which by population-wise, we are the largest country in Central Asia. And the total population of the region is, more than the 70 million. So it is almost half of the region's population. And the elections will take place, of course, in the country, and of course, the voting stations will also be established abroad. So the standard practice is they are mostly established in the embassies or the consulates of Uzbekistan, and the embassy of Uzbekistan in Delhi will also have a voting station for the citizens of Uzbekistan who on the elections day are in India, so they will be able to exercise their voting rights. And so the voting process is, of course, it's very open and transparent process, and if any of you would like to come and be present and during the voting times on the elections day to the embassy, all of you are welcome. Our embassy is located at Chanakyapuri. It's a very convenient location to find. As I mentioned, in the foreign the polling stations, we will establish 53 the polling stations at our diplomatic presentations and consular offices in foreign countries. So this year the elections are conducted under the slogan or a motto of New Uzbekistan and new elections. So I would like to give you some a brief outline of why we are, having it as a new Uzbekistan and new elections. For the past 3 years, we have adopted, under the initiative of our president, we have adopted a new national development strategy of Uzbekistan. Our government, our president was elected in December 2016. So 2017 we adopted this new national development strategy, and this strategy consists of 5 main directions which touch upon every aspect of our political, social, and economic, cultural, humanitarian life, our foreign policy. So it's a very comprehensive, document. And as part of the implementing this strategy, one of the main the goals of the strategy is to ensure, the maximum level of transparency, openness in the society, to deepen democratic reforms, to ensure the rule of law, to ensure the economic liberalization, to ensure peace and security, stability in the country, intercultural and inter-religious dialogue. So, when we talk about new Uzbekistan, we are talking about openness and transparency and the justice in the society. For the past recent years, we have achieved very visible results in ensuring transparency and openness in the society. Today we have a very vibrant, TV channels and the newspapers who can discuss even the most, the painful or pressing topics in the society. And the social media has become integral part of our life in Uzbekistan. And also the dynamic civil society is actively contributing to the progressive development of the society. And secondly, there is a high level of accountability and responsibility of government before citizens. From the very beginning of the reforms, the President of Uzbekistan put it very firmly that the main principle of the reforms is it is not the people who should serve the government, but it is the government who should serve the people. So people are the source and the driving force of the reforms, and this principle has been the core value, and it has deeply rooted into the daily practice of government officials today. Thirdly, our citizens and political parties are actively participating in the process of public administration, in the political process as a whole, and in political decision making. Today, the needs of citizens and the needs of ordinary people are the main source and driving power of the reforms that government is implementing in the country. Number four, the point that I wanted to make is we are making continued progress in fight against corruption. Nationwide government commission has been established on fight against corruption, and its work is supervised by the President of Uzbekistan himself. And the rule of law and justice are the foremost important principles of our reforms. We see these elements to be the key in ensuring inclusive and sustainable development. Sixth point that I wanted to highlight is the economic reforms. As a result of the reforms, completely new conditions for social and economic development have been created in the country. One can say that revolutionary and bold steps have been taken to liberalize the economy and create better and wider chances for the business and entrepreneurship to grow. If I give you few and very simple examples, before 2017, we had a problem of currency convertibility. So it has created a big, issue for business to grow, and we also had a difficulty in, foreign business had a difficulty in repatriation of capital. So one of the first steps that the government has taken is to ensure free, convertibility of the currency. So it has been led to free flow. And also we have made the necessary steps to ensure that the profit is, and the capital, the repatriation of capital is can take place freely without any obstruction, without any, third-party involvement. So, and of course, I have to touch upon the foreign policy aspect of the ongoing reforms, and as part of our new development strategy, for us, for Uzbekistan, the topmost foreign policy priority is Central Asia, which is the region where we are, and the neighbors, and to expand and deepen friendly and wide-scale, mutually beneficial relations with our neighbors is our, core principle and is our core objective of our foreign policy. Under the new regional policy of our president, and thanks to concrete political and diplomatic steps taken by Uzbekistan, today absolutely new atmosphere of cooperation, new atmosphere of friendship, mutual trust and confidence prevails in the region. And from our part, we will be putting our the further efforts to make sure that these processes will continue, and the process of the regional cooperation will only deepen. Here, I would like also speak a little bit about Uzbek and in Uzbek-Indian relations, since we don't meet every day. So I think I should take this chance to brief you a little bit about the current developments of Uzbek-Indian relations. Uzbekistan and India, we enjoy a strategic relationship, which is in diplomatic practice the highest form of relationship between countries. And as you, most of you know, that last year, 2018, our Honorable President paid a state visit to India, and after 4 months of the state visit, he visited India again to attend the vibrant Gujarat summit as a chief guest. So this very fact shows how close and dynamic our relations are. And of course, apart from the highest level visits, we also have a very active exchange of delegations at the ministerial, vice prime minister level, at the level of the member of parliaments, and of course, and at the level of people to people and private sector dialogue. Just recently, a big delegation from Gujarat, headed by Honorable Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, visited Uzbekistan. They have visited Tashkent, Andijan, Samarkand, Bukhara, and they had a very good meetings at the government level and also with business community of Uzbekistan. Gujarat and Andijan region of Uzbekistan have a partnership relationship, and we are now continuing this practice to establish direct, region to region connections and relationship with other states of India. We see it as a very good practical mechanism to expand and deepen our relationship. And also recently, Honorable Minister of Defense of India visited Uzbekistan as part of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, and also as part of a bilateral visit. It has a bilateral segment also. He had a very fruitful meeting with his counterpart, Honorable Minister of Defense of Uzbekistan. So, cooperation in the field of security and defense is one of the main areas of our bilateral dialogue. And also, we are now in the process of preparing the visit of the business delegation from Uzbekistan to India, and they will be visiting India second part of November, and they will be visiting different states of India to interact with Indian companies and to explore the possibilities of expanding trade and investment relations between our countries. And of course, we have this year we have achieved really big progress in other areas also. 2 Indian universities opened their campuses in Uzbekistan. Amity University opened its campus in Tashkent, and the Sharda University opened its campus in Andijan. And we believe that we will continue this dialogue of educational organizations, which will help, to bring our the younger generation together. And also this year, together with India, we have established IT park in Tashkent, and I believe this is one of the first the projects that in the region that India has a big involvement in the project. So now a number of Indian IT companies have become, residents of this IT park, and we have a big plans to implement and joint projects in IT and innovation. And also we in Samarkand on 22nd and 23rd of November, we will be having big international investment forum, and a large number of Indian companies are showing interest to participate in this forum. So these are some of the few examples of the current dynamics of our bilateral relations, and we will be having some high-level visits this year and the next year from Uzbekistan to India, also from India to Uzbekistan. So once the official and procedural parts are finalized, so we will make an official announcement. Now it is the preparation is underway. And I also wanted to mention that about tourism also. You have just seen the film which mostly focuses on the tourism potential of Uzbekistan. For the last 2 years, we have seen that the number of Indian tourists visiting in Uzbekistan more than doubled. So it is, if, for example, 2017, if it was somewhere about 13,000, so this year it will be more than 30,000. So it is really a big jump. So last year we have introduced electronic visa for the Indian citizens, including the citizens of India, for many countries, including India. And we are working to see what else can be done to make it even to facilitate, to make the tourist flow even more easier. Maybe some more facilities will be introduced beginning of next year, and and also we have established free visa-free facility for transit passengers. If you are transiting through Uzbekistan, reaching to other countries, you can stay in Uzbekistan up to 5 days without any visa. So this has also been introduced. And of course, for diplomatic passport holders, we introduced no visa regime. So now the diplomatic passport holders can travel without any visa. So maybe next year we will be having some more, the facilities that can help, this people-to-people contact grow. And of course, we see that, the tourism potential can be mutually beneficial for India and Uzbekistan. We have both countries have a rich history, rich heritage. We have, we can create common tourist packages, maybe, to show this ancient Silk Road heritage. So these kind of, the programs that we are working on, and we have recently had a big forum. It is a luxury symposium together with famous designer Ritu Berry. She is our culture and tourism ambassador in India, And, we have seen a tremendous interest that, our, artists, designers, and the handicrafts. So therefore, we decided to take this further, and next year Uzbekistan will be a partner country for Surajkund Mela, one of the biggest handicraft festivals not only in India, I think I can say it is in Asia. Yeah, so we have already received official proposal on this, and so actually today I'm making for the first time this announcement to you. So we will be a partner country for Surajkund Mela 2020. So with this, I would like to thank you for your time, for being here today, and so it is always a great pleasure for me, as I mentioned, to meet my, I can say my colleagues. So I'm, coming from journalism, still have somewhere journalism inside. And I will be very happy to, interact with you here, and also whenever whoever would like to come to our embassy, our doors are always open. We can we can receive you 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So thank you very much. And I would like also to thank Mr. Narayan and your good friend, always good you support. And, we regard you not only big friend of our embassy, but big friend of Uzbekistan. And we would like to see all of you in Uzbekistan. And actually, I would like to make a proposal to FCC to create, to implement info tour to Uzbekistan. So we will take care of, the hosting and the other, the logistical parts. So if you could create a group of people who can visit Uzbekistan, who can see, familiarize themselves with the ongoing process, and also who can help us to spread the information. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. That's a very good suggestion. I think we will do something about it very soon. If any of you have any questions, kindly raise your hands. There's a microphone, a guy standing there, another guy standing here. If you raise your hand, the microphone will come to you. Identify yourself and ask a question. Ambassador, you're telling me about Karan Johar planning to shoot one of his films. Films are, a great medium to reach out to the Indian people. Billions of people watch films here, and several countries actually invite Bollywood teams to shoot there, and tourism to those countries after those films are released, increases by leaps and bounds. Tell us, you're telling me a couple of films are already shot, and Karan is going to shoot next year?
We understand and we recognize the power of Bollywood. It is a true power. It can make more impact than maybe news stories. So they make the stories. So with this view, of course, we have been working with the Indian cinema industry, not only Mumbai-based, but we are also working with, the cinema companies in Kolkata, in Chennai, and other places. And we have done one big project with West Bengal company. They have released last year the film Hoi Choi. It's in West Bengal language, I think it's happiness. So we also, are in the discussion with some the companies in Mumbai, Bollywood companies, producers, to do film shooting in Uzbekistan. So now this like a working process is going on, and therefore we, they say it's like a commercial secret. So, so when the time is right, so we will make the announcements. But definitely we are very much focused on the film industry, and we see that even the film that we did with West Bengal company, we have immediately we have seen the rise of tourists from West Bengal to Uzbekistan.
Vichitra, you have a question?
Yeah, I want to find out if you can shed some light on the Buddhist structures. Are there still some any reflection of Buddhism in Uzbekistan?
Yes, I mentioned about Kushana Empire. So that's the period when we have the active development of Buddhist structures, and of course there is a very unique Buddhist structure in Uzbekistan, in Termez, which is also I believe is a part of the chain which comes from Bamyan. So the Bamyan Buddhist structures. So Termez is on the border with Afghanistan. And in Surkhandarya, that's the region called Surkhandarya. The Termez is the central city. So there is a very ancient and very unique Buddhist remainings there. Actually, archaeologists from Japan have been working there for a long time, for many years, and they helped us to restore and to recover these, the Buddhist the remainings. And now we have created, also sort of, the center there for the international tourists, who are interested in seeing the Buddhist heritage, Buddhism heritage in Uzbekistan. As a matter of fact, the Buddhism, traveled from India, from Bihar, to Far East, to Korean Peninsula, Japan, via through the territory of Uzbekistan. So this is therefore we have this very visible the remainings of Buddhist structure.
Would you encourage some excavations in some of these sites? Because beneath buried might be cities, monasteries.
The excavations already, never stopped. It is always there. And if there is interest from Indian side, we are absolutely, happy to work together, because it is, this ancient heritage is always has a common, value. It is a common heritage of humankind.
Okay, your briefing was very comprehensive. Our friends don't seem to have any more questions, so I want to say thank you, Ambassador. You have a question? Yeah, please. Take the microphone there.
Good evening, sir. Lalit here. Just want to put in efforts for joining the Uzbekistan culture art form, music and dance, with the Indian culture. Can we do that? Is there any possibility? Both art forms on one stage, here and there.
Cultural collaboration is, culturally, Uzbekistan and India, we are, very close to each other. Our traditions, our customs, even our words, we have, close to 5,000 words, identical, similar. So if you just add 5,000 more, so you can speak Uzbek or I can speak Hindi. So basically, so like Mehman, Aziz, Lekin, Qarib, Asman. So this, kursi, of course, piala, chai, you know. So culturally, of course, you know, this is something that creates a very good comfort when you have a cultural, you know, closeness, and when your traditions and values
Yeah,
are
just for
similar.
harmony and peace, if we can join together, it will be beneficiary for both the, like, our peoples, our audience will see the culture, and their audience can see our
You know,
culture.
next year we will be having the year of Indian culture in Uzbekistan, and also we will be having year of Uzbek culture in India. And last year we had you know, Uzbek cultural days in India. So as our embassy, we are actively involved in organizing various cultural events, and we will be very happy to see you in our future, you know, cultural activities.
We'll try to
Thank
put
you.
a team together and we'll get in touch with you about that. Thank you very much, Excellency.